Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our show. Welcome back to it's called Tournament
Now,
Horse. Our show is called Tournament Horse Racing, and it's brought to you by Broke Guys Handicapping. This is how it works. We've taken the horse racing calendar, we've broken up into a number of tournaments throughout the year. Actually, there's four major tournaments throughout the year that'll make up the tournament. What you're watching actually is the very first tournament of what we call the preseason. And we're just going to go and run through about four tournaments or so through the beginning of the year, and then we'll go ahead and launch into our major tournament. Uh, we are actually going to be doing four horse race tournaments in all. And so what you'll be seeing is throughout the year, there'll be approximately 10 horse races or 10 racing days, if you like, per tournament. Each of those racing days consists of four individual races. Whoever wins the most money on those racing days wins that racing day. At the end of the tournament, at the end of the 10 racing days, we measure who won the most money. That's the winner of that individual tournament. We'll measure that across four individual tournaments throughout the year. And then at the very end of the year, we'll also have a year end winner. That's actually how we'll do it. As I told you, this is our very first day of the year, kind of a special day for all of us. We've actually been getting together now for 3 years on tournament horse racing together. And we've always started off with the very first horse racing day of the year for almost every horse player in America. That is Santa Anita Racetrack. It is the Malibu. I've gone a number of times. I've gone actually a number of times with people who are on this show, um, quite a few times with my own father. So the day after Christmas was always kind of a special day for me. It's not only Boxing Day, but it's the day that they open up Santa Anita Racetrack. So that's a little bit about our show. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to the horse players who will be competing in the tournament that's going to go ahead and start tonight in the order that we finished in last year. So, finishing in second last year, that was Ray Torado. He's my friend who, for whatever reason, is pretending that he's a bat tonight and he's hanging upside down.
I don't
Ray,
know.
I haven't seen you live on this show now for about 6 weeks. That's how we go out. That's how we do it every year. We take a little break. We all go out there and kind of get our racing instincts all sharpened up for the tournament. How have you been doing? Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you and your family, my good friend.
Yes. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We lost 40 degrees today. It's 8 degrees. We're doing good, and I'm hanging from a tree. I don't know what happened to my computer, but at least I'm here, and you can hear my voice. So let's get back at this.
Absolutely. As I told everybody, this is the preseason. That's why we have the preseason so that Ray can get out his bad instincts. All right, coming all the way back across the country here in California. He's a little bit to my north. He lives in Menifee, California. I'm not exactly sure what that is behind him, but Steve Newsom, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and your family. How are you, my friend?
Oh, not bad, not bad. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas to you, Steve. And finally, last but not least, just a little bit to my south, located in Temecula, California. He's one of my really good friends here in the world. He's also a handicapper on this show. He's a former winner of tournament horse racing himself. Joe English, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to your beautiful wife and your children. How have you been, my friend?
I'm good, guys. Echo the sentiments. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. Uh, Kwanzaa, whatever it is you're celebrating, enjoy time with your family, and stay out of the cold if you're in a place like that. Fortunately, Rich and Steve and I don't have the same problem that you have, Ray, so sorry about that, but we'll have to go forward.
All right. Well, that's just a little bit about the horse players. Just a disclaimer before we go any further. Joe, Ray, Steve, and myself, we're actually all just horse players. We enjoy the game. We enjoy getting together on a weekly basis. We just like handicapping horse races together. We're by no means a touting service, and we're most certainly not selling any of the picks that you'll be hearing about tonight. We all just enjoy the sport of horse racing. We enjoy getting together on our Friday nights and sharing our instincts with each other. And we hope all of you do too. And with that being said, we are going to move to, well, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first racetrack that I ever saw a horse race at. This is Santa Anita Racetrack in beautiful Arcadia, California. It's got the San Gabriel Mountains right behind it, and it is the traditional opening day of horse racing season. and it comes every year on the day after Christmas. I know for those of you who are in Louisiana or maybe down in Florida, you've probably got your own sentiments as far as that one's concerned, but this one has some very special instincts for me. As I mentioned, Joe and Joe, I know you and I, we've gone a couple of times on the day after Christmas. And as I said, when I was a kid, me and my father used to go. So let me go ahead and I will go ahead and I'm going to share my screen with you, everybody out here. And I will let you know, since I did hear about this last year, you might lose a little bit of the imaging here. So you're not going to see Steve and Joe and Ray until they speak. But at this point in time, I'll go ahead and just bring up, this is going to be what the preseason is going to look like. As you see, we're all zeroed out there. We're going to start off on December the 26th. That is at Santa Anita Racetrack, which is the Malibu and the American Oaks, which is on a Monday. And then right after that, we'll go down to December 31st. That's New Year's Eve day and Gulfstream Park. There's a couple of really good races there, including the Fort Lauderdale. We'll come right back to Santa Anita on January the 7th. That is the traditional state bred Cal Day, which includes the Cal Cup Derby and the Cal Cup Oaks. We'll take one break in between there for whatever reason each year. That seems to be quite a down day. And then on the 21st, we'll finish up at the fairgrounds, which is in Louisiana. It's the Lecompte Stakes with the Louisiana Stakes. And that'll conclude our preseason. And the following weekend, I believe, is Pegasus World Cup Day. And that kicks off our big tournament, tournament number one, which we always call the Preps here on Tournament Horse Racing. But that's a look at what you'll be seeing for the next few weeks as we all get together on our Friday evenings. Without further ado, we will go ahead and we will move over to the Great Race Place. This is Santa Anita Racetrack, and with God willing, Joe and I will make another trip to Santa Anita this year. Race number 8 at Santa Anita is the La Brea Stakes. They are going 7 furlongs on the main surface. It is a grade 1. Purse is $300,000. It's for filly 3-year-olds only. And your morning line favorite is in post number 4. She is Midnight Memories, trained by Bob Baffert and ridden by Ramon Vasquez. And she is 5-2 on the morning line in the La Brea Stakes. And as a tradition here, we will go ahead and we will allow the person who won last year's tournament to go ahead and have first pick in tonight's opening leg here. So that means that this guy right here, that's going to be me. I won last year's tournament, and I'm going to get to go first here in what should really be renamed the Bob Baffert Open Invitational, if you like. Or I actually thought about just telling you guys I was going to pick the Baffert horse that's got the really good jockey, that's got a great record, and that still wouldn't tell you anything here. But I'm going to go ahead and go with Baffert's $1 million horse, owned by the Bayoma Corp. And again, you've got Baffert as the trainer. You've got that man, John Velasquez, right there. I think he's got Flavian Pratt on one of the other horses, and Juan Hernandez or Ramon Vasquez. He's got all the best jockeys riding in this race. He's got some big money horses, including this one. She has won 3 out of 4. The one race that she did lose was here at Santa Anita, so she's 2 for 3 at Santa Anita. She lost in the Summertime Oaks that was back there in June, and then came out of that on 80 cents on the dollar. She was the favorite there and won by 8 lengths in a race that was there at Los Alamitos Racecourse. By Quality Road, Baffert's got 4 in this race. Each one of them has records like this, so they're all 3 for 4 or 4 for 5 or 5 for 6. I mean, it's just a plethora of talent for him at this particular level, at this race. It's the last 3-year-old race of the year. You heard me say that this was for 3-year-olds only. So I just took a poke, and I went with the 3, Ganadora. I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to the man who finished just behind me last year, Ray Torado, hanging out upside down. What do you like in the La Brea Stakes?
Yeah, Baffert has a lot of them here. I guess we just played a superfecta and call it a day. Um, I went with the other Baffert, under Baffert. Number 6, Fun to Dream. He's 5-1. Um, basically, he looks like he's, he likes to, looks like he likes to sprint. I mean, he's got some good speed. He can stalk, and I mean, he wasn't going long too, so he has some good figures going sprinting, and the workouts are there, so just a matter of she breaks clean. Hernandez gets a good position from post 6. That shouldn't be an issue. Um, one at 7, one at so this is her distance. So hopefully, it's kind of a class test for her. She's really only like won a, like an ungraded steak a couple times, the state breads. So, but let's see, grade 1 is a big step, but you know, she's in good form, working out well. Like Santa Anita, so 2 for 2, and so see what happens. It's gonna be like one of those relay races like they have usually. He might win all 1, 2, 3, 4. So,
Yeah, I
All
mean,
right.
Steve.
you guys couldn't pick some easier races for us to start off with. Anyway, all these races, I was like, what the heck? It's like all this. Anyway, maybe it's just me looking at the charts again for the first time in a while. But anyway, probably to no surprise to anybody here, I went with the other Baffert, the one under the stars,
Got them all.
Flavian Pratt on
Yeah, you
board.
got to be more specific when you say the other Baffert. There's two
Yeah,
of
yeah.
them.
Well,
Pressure's on Joe now. You gotta pick the last baffle. You gotta pick him
Why do I have to do that?
because we're
Uh, so I'd have bet all the. So let me put it this way: I'd have bet all the money in
peer
the world
pressure.
for that
Go ahead,
Steve.
Steve.
Steve would have bet
yeah,
this horse, and
yeah, had a couple
I've
of
held.
nice workouts at 5 and 6 furlongs. But yeah, no, there were so many good horses in this race. I didn't know how to pick, so I picked a jockey.
I guess it's my. I'm the last one up,
Yep,
and Ray,
yep,
I'm
yep.
not. I'm actually picking the same one as you, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
because I think there's a lot of speed in the race. One's got some. Rich's Choice Ganadora has some. The horse in between Steve and Rich, Hot Peppers from Rudy Rodriguez's barn coming east. She's got speed. So I mean, we know Santa Anita, excuse me, is notorious for being able to have horses run 22, 44, 108, and 120 and keep going. So she's got that against her, and she's not really been in graded stakes races, as Ray mentioned. But Juan Hernandez is staying aboard. If the speed in the race happens to fall apart, I think she's the most likely closer that's going to be able to win. And she's got the best odds of all the Stafford horses. So at 5 to 1, I was going to take Fun.
Okay. All right. So out of that race, we're going to go into what's going to be the only non-stakes race in this sequence that we're covering tonight. But it is a good race. They're going 1.125 miles on the turf. This is an allowance race. Purse is $72,000. It is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won $15,000 once, other than maiden, claiming, starter, or state bred, or which have never won 2 races. And your morning line favorite is right here in post number 3. It's Ballet Dancing, trained by Simon Callahan and ridden by, that's Frankie Dettori. 4 to 1. A tasty price for Santa Anita on the opening morning line there. And Ray, you're going to get to kick us off here in the non-stakes race.
All right, as I'm adjusting my video, which is not working. I went with the 9, Glenall, kind of a long shot, 8 to 1, but I think I take a chance. Hoping to get a good trip here. This horse kind of gets off pretty slowly, so I'm hoping Gaffleon can, you know, get him out of the gate, and just hopefully she could, get a good run. Her last race, I mean, a mile and 8 is a long way, so 9 furlongs. Um, she ran third last time. Um, Similar race, little, 9 wins of 1, allowance races. So, um, she's She ran at Kentucky Downs, 500,000, ran 8th. But she comes, she's been basically in the West Coast, and she had her only win at Santa Anita, so that's a plus. But I think the 9 furlongs will really help. There seems to be pace in this race, so she could come late and hopefully get a good trip. She's been going out for some big prices, so she's getting no respect at the windows. But no, that'd be better for me with our win place format here. So the race off a layoff. Um, no, she has been in the money, so she's 7 times out of 14 in the money, and so I expect her to make a run with the distance, and hopefully it'll work out. Get a good trip, Gaffleon. Steve?
All right. Yeah, I'm going with the favorite here, ballet dancing. Hopefully, you can get somewhere close to 4-1. That'd be nice. Horses. Main reason I picked it is first in prime power, and it's got the highest speed figures for turf. Probably in their second to last race there. So yeah, I'm gonna go with ballet dancing on this one.
Yeah, I'll take the outside runner. Not thrilled about the draw. Give me the 12. I'm sorry, not the outside. Well, maybe she is the outside runner.
Yeah.
Okay, or I'm not sure if they were also eligible in this race or not. Give me the 12, Kara Katsi. 5-1 for George Papadromo, who had a breakout in earlier in the year at Del Mar, getting his first Breeders' Cup horse. And Joel Rosario, who gets the ride tomorrow, first time. That switch, again, nothing against Joe Bravo. Rosario is a good finisher and probably a little bit above Bravo in the pecking order of jockeys in the country today. I think she's got enough speed to avoid some of the traffic issues from post 12. You can see the last couple of times out, she's been relatively close to the lead in the first pace, at the first call, excuse me. And like I said, I hate the draw, but it probably will help the price. So give me the 12, Karakatsi, in the allowance race 9 tomorrow. I'm sorry, Monday, Santa Anita. Rich?
And for all the exact same reasons that Joe said, in addition to the fact that, as Joe and Ray will vouch for me, I've kind of got a thing for the sire, Kira Conti, going all the way back to the first time that we all hung out together and gambled together. But Kira Conti is the sire there. He actually has been a very productive sire, as you see there. Now he's moved over to Japan, it looks like, and has been around for a while. Very good turf sire. This is technically, if you look down here, the horse has got a lot of East Coast chops, so to speak. One of my favorite angles out there still being East Coast turf horses coming out here to the West. I know the horse has been running out here on the West Coast for a while and hasn't won for a while either. If you look at that point, 0 for its last 10. But I thought that Karakatsi, and again, getting Joel Rosario, definitely a bump up as much as I like Joe Bravo as well. And I love the sire. And I thought that the post is something that could be overcome in a mile and an eighth race. So I went with the 12. All right.
They should put a note on those races saying it's run on flat ground.
Good point. Yeah. All right. Here we go. This is the feature for the day. And this, they're going 7 furlongs on the main surface. It is technically the last grade 1 race of 2022. This is the Malibu, or if you like, the Run Happy Malibu Stakes. It is a grade 1. The purse is $300,000. It's for 3-year-olds only. And your morning line favorite, well, we've been watching him all throughout his 3-year-old season, haven't we, guys? Taiba, trained by Bob Baffert and ridden by Mike Smith, and he is 6-5 on the morning line. And Steve, how appropriate, because if I'm not mistaken, Taiba gave you a win in one of the tournaments last year that we
Yeah,
played.
yeah,
And look who gets
Hmm.
to go first in the Malibu. Steve Newsom,
yeah.
who do you like?
And I'm gonna stick with Taiba here. Yeah, one. What? I can't read that from here. The Pacific Derby.
The Pacific, yeah, the Pennsylvania
Oh,
Derby.
Pennsylvania
Pennsylvania
Derby.
Derby.
Oh, that's a Pennsylvania Derby.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. No, I can go with Taba. I had some nice workouts again. No flight line to deal with, so and beat Messier one time they went head to head. So yeah.
I'll take it from here, Steve. Figure you don't have much more to say, and honestly, I
No,
can't
I
really
don't
add
have
much
much.
to it. Normally in a contest like this, I would try to stay away from horses that are 6 to 5 and low prices like that. But just looking at the form, if he runs any of the last 3 races that he ran um, in this year, if he runs anything close to that on Monday, he's going to win. I don't think there's really any question about it. He's just better than the rest of these. Now he does have to go back to sprinting, but he's back on his home track. Mike Smith is sticking around. He's not going anywhere. He's 2 for 2 here. So, and like Steve said, no flight line, no Olympiad to deal with. None of the older horses that he's got to tackle. He's going against his contemporaries as a 3-year-old. So, again, I'm with Steve. I would be with the 6 And honestly, playing a pick 4, this is my single if I was playing.
Yeah.
So, give me the 6. Rich?
Yeah, couldn't I don't have anything else to add to that, you guys. He is let's see. When you look at his race form, Joe, I agree. Not just the last 3 races, all of his races save one, the Kentucky Derby. That's the only clunker he has on his record and things like that. Everything else, me and Steve saw the Santa Anita Derby. That's the one that we were at.
Yep.
He's been a fantastic horse, and there's nobody like Flightline that Steve mentioned, and there's not even anybody like Zandon or Cyberknife or Jack Christopher or any of those other horses that you see in these races as well and things like that. So, yeah, he's my choice as well. And Steve, I'd have to go, or Joe, I'd have to go with exactly what you said. He would probably be my single as well. And we'll hand it off to you, Ray.
Diversity, Ray, or no?
Oh, sorry guys.
There we go. There we go. Finally.
Nah. I'm gonna. I mean, I'm in a forgiving mood tonight with Messier, number 2. I think sprinting is probably his better game, and hopefully, he can. I don't know what happened last time. I mean, he was running well, and he just, say he bled and walked off. So,
Whoa.
let's see if they correct that issue. And he's been working on it well, so I mean, maybe even better than what he was before. But I'll take a chance. Maybe these two will duke it out, and somebody has to give. So I'll take 6-1. And he's kind of fresh too, as far as racing. I mean, it's one race, and he went long last year, way back. So I mean, to run 6.5 furlongs in over 8 months, he might be a little fresh. So I know Tabor had to run the classic and all these races and stuff. So I'm going on that angle, and hopefully it'll work out. Maybe he could wear him down, get a jump on him, whatever it is takes. But it should be a good race. Like you said, the last grade one for 3-year-olds, and next year they move on to the handicap division, which Tabor already has experience. So
Yeah.
that's one advantage he would have. So, but I'll go with Messier and take my chances. Number 11, Mark Messier.
You're an
Rich,
Islanders
back to
fan.
you.
What do you care?
Huh? What happened?
You're an Islanders fan.
Me? I'm no fan. I'm a fan of hockey. I don't really have a team. I mean, I've just jumped around. At one point, I liked the correct no Dixon. They had the Stastny brothers, but now really nobody. But yeah, you're right. The first when I first got into hockey, I did like the Islanders. So.
I
I
remember.
guess they were going 3 in a row, 4 in a row. So that was the attraction.
They were pretty good back.
Uh,
All right, here is our finale. It's actually also a grade one. They're going a mile and a quarter on the hillside turf, Ray. So not on
there
flat
you go.
ground, right?
All
There we
right.
go. It is the American Oaks, as I mentioned, a grade one. The purse is $300,000 on the downhill turf for Philly 3-year-olds only. Your morning line favorite is out here. She's in post number 9, I believe. Salima, trained by Chad Brown and ridden by Flavian Pratt. 7-2 on the Santa Anita morning line. And Joe, I believe this is you're up first. And just a caveat on this one, so that people understand, there is a horse. Oops, I thought this was a race. No, it is. Excuse me. Go ahead, Joe.
No worries, Rich. Just so that everybody realizes, the only thing that is on the hillside course is that it starts up there. It actually is on flat ground. There is no, not like they're running up and down like in Europe. I want to make sure everybody knows that it's just a portion of the race. The first furlong, I guess, is what you call it. Starts on the hillside turf course, so they run downhill, and
Do
then
not
after that
adjust
it's
your
on flat
TV.
ground. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Like unlike Ray, it's going to look funny, or like Ray, it's going to look funny, but
Yeah.
normal. Normal. I actually, this is like I said, like Rich talked about earlier. This is one of his angles. I went with the 7 Skims for Shug
Oh, there we
McGahee
go.
and Johnny Velasquez. Uh, she ran second in the race at Kentucky Downs at a little bit longer distance than this. Obviously, I don't think the distance is an issue. Um, Johnny V sticks around after riding this horse to the Grade 2 win in the Stance Point at the Belmont at Aqueduct meet. Um, I trust that Chug McGahee would not be sending his horse west just for the ship and win situation. I think he's in it probably to try and win. And yes, he's got to beat Chad Brown and he's got to beat all the locals. But yeah, this horse has shown some ability, especially in the last 2 starts after having a little bit of a rocky Saratoga, running into Dole Cazell. Speaking of Chad Brown and consumer spending and races like and Fenderella, who went to Ascot to run second uh, behind Innsbruck. So give me the 7. Give me Skims at 6-1. A little bit of a price, and let's see if we can kick the day off. Kick the finale off with a win here. 7. Rich.
Is, yeah, is it just me, or does anybody have like to train their eyes to make sure that when they look at the BAQ that's on there, you're not thinking that's like some exotic Arab racetrack or things like that. Yeah, I really do. I'm just like sometimes I'm like, where is that one? Is that like Belize or something? Is it? Oh, wait.
Fortunately, no.
All right. And Joe, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. I thought obviously I was looking for someone a little bit further east. And Chad Brown, he's right back here, and he's on turf. He's sitting, he's on the shelf. And there were a couple of options. There really were. This horse has got this race has plenty of horses that have overseas experience and some really good trainers as well. In addition to Chad Brown, you've also got Brendan Walsh and Tyler Gaffleone on this horse. Mise Sun. I went one inside of them, believe it or not, and I went with a horse who's been hot lately, Bell Street Birdie. A little bit of a local connection, so kind of a surprise for me. But came over from Europe, as you see there. Has a string of victories, had won 3 in a row, and then got defeated in a mile and a quarter race over there in Europe, but just lost by 1 3/4 lengths in a race that had 13 horses that were in it, and then came over here and did what I would hope, a strong European horse would do in the red carpet, which was a mile and a half race, or almost a mile and a half race, down there at Del Mar, and won by like, almost 5 lengths. Was drawing off in the whole shot. So I decided to take just a little bit of a shot here, and I went with the 5 Bell Street Birdie. I'm going to hand it off to Ray.
Um, I- it's a tough race. I had a couple of choices here, but I'll go with my longer shot. I went with number 8, Piazza Bianca, Grand Motion, Bobby Flay, owner. Um, I guess they changed trainers. Clement had them. Um, basically, this it, the distance suits his horse. Doesn't win. He's 3 out of 8. Kind of on a cold streak last time, but I think I mean, you're facing Regal Glory. Um, she was running at Skims in that same race at Sands Point. Just got out a little slow, wide. It's 5 wide. Finished fourth, 2 3/4. So maybe she could make up that ground. Hopefully, Rispoli knows the track a little better. Local guy. And the last race, the matriarch, like I said, Regal Glory won by 5. So basically, she lost to grade 1 by a half a length, so a quarter of a length. So, and it was only a mile, so this was a little further. So I'll go Piazza Bianca. Hopefully, we could get look at Bobby Flay in the winner circle, and maybe he'll make a dish for us in the winner circle and hand out some desserts or something. All right, Steve.
Barbecue. Anyway,
Some barbecue. I can make some
yeah,
barbecue or something. Yeah, you go.
I like the other European horse, the 6.
Mise en scène.
Is it Meisenstein or
Mise en scène.
Missenstein? Huh?
Mise en scène.
Mise en scène. Oh, that sounds French, right?
That's not what that looks like, Rich.
Oh, it is French. Yeah.
That's what it is.
I'm sure it is. No, but I don't know what I'm missing here, but you got Tyler Gaffney on Brendan Walsh, horse at a speed figure of 106, their last race at the distance on turf. That by far is faster than any of these other horses. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the French horse. I'm assuming it's French because whatever you said sounds like French, Rich.
Yeah.
To celebrate the
It's a-
runner-up in the World Cup. Right?
It's a cinema term.
Oh, okay.
That's guitar racing.
I think it means leave the theater.
Well,
I don't know.
leave the theater. Would you stop, please?
I think it means watch this shit.
I didn't take French in school.
Oh yeah, the horse has 2 appearances in the United States. They're both the Breeders' Cup, so obviously a really talented horse. And
Yeah,
as you pointed out, even though it got beat by 6 lengths, that's one heck of a speed figure. There's nobody in this race that's got quite that level. Did see Pizza Bianca that one previous time back there in the 2-year-old race. I was torn. The 6 and the 5 are the two that those are the two that I really like. So. All right, before we degrade ourselves anymore here. Yours is the 6, right, Steve?
Yes.
Okay. All right, everybody, take a look at your picks. Make sure I got them all correct.
Looks good to me.
Yep. I got everybody. All right. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna come back. So we'll go back to the full sharing mode. Hold on. There we go. Look at Ray still hanging from the ceiling.
unbelievable.
Yeah, he's still there. All right.
You have to correct this issue.
Yep. Okay. Well, for those of you who have kind of hung in there with us, this is the opening of.
No pun intended.
Yeah, he's falling further.
Yeah, you can see my whole body. How about that? How about that? Look, there you go.
That's the opening of our preseason event. I hope that everybody has a wonderful, happy holiday. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Joe,
Happy
Steve,
Hanukkah.
Ray,
Merry Pass.
end of a wonderful year and things like that.
Have a
Merry Christmas,
lovely
all
holiday
of you.
weekend. Happy New Year. Well, we'll come in before the New Year, so.
We'll get together again before New
Got
Year's.
one more.
Right.
We'll be back next week.
Next year, get ready. You're gonna have a nice shot of Fireball, all of us. Mine's is ready.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here on Tournament Horse Racing. It's brought to you by Broke Guys Handicapping. For Ray Torado hanging upside down, Steve Newsom, Joe English. My name is Rich Sharp. Again, our show's called Tournament Horse Racing. Merry Christmas, everybody. See you next week.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Johnny?